on the subject of sidearms. Hi everybody, Ray from 28 Left Productions, and today let's kind of talk about sidearm selection. Specifically, let's go over what I consider actually a sidearm and as opposed to a secondary. I do make a distinction between the two, and that is a secondary is usually high capacity, not mag fed, internal magazine maybe, but not external box magazine fed. So for example, the Artemis I would consider a secondary, because if you got this thing on a sling and you're running around, whatever, then you can pull this out and then you can just continue hosing the enemy as you see fit. But you also have a decent magazine capacity, and you could top off on the fly, and it's actually a pretty good secondary. Now, that's not what I'm going for. It's just that. Sidearms, the way I consider sidearms, are usually front loaders, cylinder, possibly, but more often than not, like limited capacity blasters. And the main reason I consider that, because like this is probably something you're not going to be going to that often. Like maybe you're caught in a reload and you have to like quickly draw a single shot blaster. Or you're caught in a reload and you have to catch a double shot blaster. Yes, you still got a primer between each shot, but it's still only 2 shots. These are what I consider your sidearms. Now, something like the Chronos, yeah, I can actually consider this still a sidearm because it's internal magazine fed, it's holsterable, so you can have it pretty much at the ready, but at the same time, it's still not something that you would probably go to unless you're completely out of all other options. Yes, I do know there are quite a few people who use the Chronos as a primary, or in pistol only round. I have used this quite a bit in pistol only rounds. But generally speaking, if I have the option of using a different primary, I'm not going with this. Okay, other sidearms that fit the list here. Everybody's favorite, the Jolt and the Triad. Generally speaking, I do not run either one of these, mainly because ergonomics. I don't like how they feel. These are uncomfortable blasters to hold for a decent amount of time, and I'd rather not. Even with the 3-shot capacity of the Triad versus the Jolt, because they both have approximately the same range, pre-modded, then you know, I would rather not do that. If I was going to use a 3-shot blaster, honestly, I'd rather go with something like the Luma Yay. Anybody know that reference? Anyway, the Lumatron, whatever the heck this thing is called. This thing, it feels so much better in my hand. I know this is kind of a small grip, but I also have incredibly long arms with tiny hands at the end, so I don't know, but fits nice in my hand. I like it. I would rather go with something like that. Okay, now on to everybody's favorite, the hammer shot, because they're hammer shots. Everybody has these things. These things are incredibly useful, one-handable, one-handed prime. You know, this thing is, honestly, if you're not using one of these as a sidearm, I kind of question why you're nerfing. But anyway. Okay, these are kind of special case sidearms. and that's going to be the Cyclone Shock and the thing I dropped on the floor. The Big Shock. The only reason I put these in a special category is some game types allow megas to be shield busters or not necessarily busting, but armor piercing. In those cases, then yeah, this might be a good choice to have. Because you're like, hey, I got somebody with a shield over there. Here's 6 shots of me trying to get rid of that guy. And if you don't want something this big, because this does not fit in holsters very well. This thing is kind of big for a pistol. But this is not bad. You can throw this in a pocket and, hey, 1 shot with plus 1 extra that you can carry in the top there of shield busting potential. No. Okay, Vortex Blasters. Most Vortex Blasters, not really my thing. Generally speaking, they're kind of bulky. And they don't fit into sidearms because a lot of them are mag fed. And the ones that are internal fed, they're still like bulky. They're like huge. They're like the only one that I would probably say is like the Diatron, just because you get that 2-shot effect, so you get a semi-shotgun thing going on. You know, unless there was like a single shot, pocketable Vortex Blaster, then, you know, why would you use like anything else as a side? Holy crap. It still works. Alright, any of these Star Wars blasters that are internal mag fed with the... I really want to like these things, but in their stock configuration, these things are abysmal range-wise. They really, really need a spring upgrade, which I need to do on this, and I haven't done it yet, but as of right now, in its stock configuration, I would not recommend this, but I kind of want to at the same time. Once I mod this thing might actually be part of my carry, so we'll find out. Okay, the last thing I want to cover sidearm wise are all the modulus attachments. These things are, some of these are pretty ridiculous. Yeah, so like this one where you have to take the whole stock off and you get 1 shot. Yeah, kinda, sorta useful, but at the same time, it's just 1 shot. That and this thumb hole thing is kind of uncomfortable. I don't really care for it that much. Some of the other things. This one that fits on any rail attachment, that's a good idea, because I mean you could pretty much have this with you on any blaster that has a tack rail, and there's 2 extra shots, so alright, that's pretty good. That, and even though it is pretty much a jolt reskin, it feels better. It's actually better ergonomics, so yeah, I'll give this one a pass. Okay, this one I absolutely love. It's another blaster that's separate from the rest of your primary, and it's hammer fired, so like that's kind of awesome. This one, I forget what this thing's called. Anyway, yeah, this thing, I like this stock. This is a really, that and it's a decently sized stock. Most of the other stocks I think are too short. This one's actually a pretty good size for if I'm using a stripe as a primary. I really like that. Alright, I don't know what's going on here with this thing. This thing is weird. Okay, it's yet another Jolt reskin, except it's 4-shot, which is cool. 4 shots as opposed to 2 or 3. but is it, like, it doesn't know what it wants to do. It wants to be a primary, but like, this is the most uncomfortable, smallest stock I've ever. I almost consider this that stupid AR-15 arm brace thing. Is like, it's. Yeah, I don't understand. Wait, hold on. Like, seriously, we got a tack rail on an attachment that. This is either the smallest primary wannabe or the largest sidearm, because reasons. Alright, two that I actually use in most battles. We've got the sharp fire and the double down. I like both of these because this one is modded. It has a massive spring upgrade that I have in here, and this thing's kind of a beast. It's pretty powerful. I love it, even though it only has one shot, and it's not the most ergonomic thing in the world. Like, this little tumor thing right here is kind of annoying in the hand, but other than that, I love this thing. And that also goes with the double down. Now this thing is way more ergonomic. It actually fits the hand pretty well. It's a little bit small. Kind of want to put a maybe 3D print something to put on the bottom there just to give it a little bit better shape. But I really love the extended angle of this thing, because like that feels nice. If it wasn't for the fact that this thing's a little bit on the weak side, but I'm planning on putting a bigger spring in this thing because I absolutely love this thing. 2 shots, which is, obviously not high capacity, but it's thin, and because it's thin, fits in these nice shoulder holster that I got, and it doesn't really get in the way. Okay, lastly, the last sidearm that I think most people should have, melee weapon. And the main reason I say that, these don't run out of ammo. If you find yourself in a situation where you are completely out of ammo,
I am completely out of ammo. Never happened to me before.
you got yourself a melee weapon. Now, I know most people out there are probably not as keen on melee weapons, but as I said, if you're out of ammo, it helps. One more shot, or one more shot. The only way that I actually bother to feel the jolt. Anyway, I've been Ray with 28 Left Productions, and over here is a video YouTube thinks you should watch. Why? I don't know. They just think you should watch it. And over here is a video that I'll add in post. I'm Ray with 28 Left Productions, and I'll see y'all later.